Hey everyone, good morning, and how are you? And I want to welcome you today to letting go of what you're working on and shifting to something that people, your audience actually need, that it's going to make you money. So I'm going to be talking about how many of you are stuck, feeling kind of like your feet are in like heavy mud, or you have a ball and chain around your ankle. You're not really sure what you should be doing next. Some states are just coming out of the COVID-19 quarantine. Some states, countries still aren't. They're still on lockdown. You know, you're a small business owner, a service provider, and you're just in a weird energetic place. I understand. I've been there too. So I own a brick and mortar. I own a salon and wellness spa and a healing center that's all together. And I have my online consulting practice, and it also is an offline consulting practice. There's been so many changes that have been out of my control, so many changes to protocols, unknown things, you just don't know what to do next. So I'm going to talk about today simple ways, 3 steps that I take every time I need to pivot, change, shift something, and get unstuck from feeling in that place that I don't know what to do next. So thank you for joining me today, guys. So let's talk about the first thing. I want you guys all, let's just all get grounded before we do anything else. Let's all take a really deep breath, put your feet on the ground. If you're barefoot, that's even better. And take a really nice deep breath. Come on. I want you to feel the energy of your soul, and I want you to be really present for this video. Or if you're listening to this on a podcast, I want you to really just take these few minutes, listen to what I'm saying, and make them resonate with you. Let it go through you. Good morning, everyone. I see you guys coming on. Thank you for watching. I love you all. I want you to feel. Stop doing and start feeling. This is what this video is going to be about today. Stop doing, start feeling, which has always been a struggle for me because I'm a doer, an achiever, an overachiever, a perfectionist, a busybody. I want to always be a step ahead of everything else. So I come from a place of total compassion, empathy, and love as I share this video with you today. And this is a special request from one of my dear, dear clients and friends who sent me this request in a private message. And I am trying to, I have you all your requests in a list, and I will get to them weekly on Training Thursdays, and then they will be broadcast live also on YouTube and on our podcast on Apple Podcasts and in Profits. All right, so first of all, guys, now that we took a deep breath, I want you to stop for a second and ask yourself, what has changed with my broad audience? Now, forget about that laser targeted niche audience. I want you to say your broad audience. What has changed with my broad audience? So I'm going to give you examples as we go along here, and I'm going to use one of my clients who has a wellness spa, but it's more of a med spa. So they do Botox, they do all kinds of rejuvenation services. When she came to me, she said, Maria, I just don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing next. And that's a question that most small business owners and service providers right now are asking themselves, because guess what? The world has changed. How people shopped has changed. How people interact has changed. Everyone's in a different place. Nothing is the same. And now we're slowly moving into a recession, like it or not. So I want you to look at your broad audience, and I want you to say, what has changed for my audience? And an easy way to do that is, what has changed for you, how you operate? What's changed in what you're doing in your daily life, how you spend money, how you interact, how you go back to the salon, how you go back to get your brows done, how you go back to maybe, getting your Botox or your Rejuvederm. These are just examples. It could be anything. How did it change for you going back to the gym, working with your trainer? What is it that you really need? So by looking at that, it's about, you have to ask the clients, guys. Like I went over this a few weeks ago. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about us as the business owner. It's about what the people need today. So what we've been doing for the past year, 6 months, up until the COVID hit and the pandemic and things shifted, you really have to ask people. So I highly suggest you message people, message your old clients. The best place to ask is the people that know you, like you, trust you, already have a relationship with you, they've worked with you, or colleagues, people on your same level, people in this group, in Zen and Profits. Ask people in the inner circle. Reach out to them, say, hey, I see we're in this inner circle today. I just have a few questions. I'm doing some market research. What are your thoughts? And compile those thoughts. But remember, guys, you have to remember that if you're asking just anybody and if you're asking people who are your ideal client, and then you can kind of gauge from that, because we do have a broad audience and then we have a super niche down audience. Okay. So here's another example. One of my super niches was, no longer really is, because right now the market doesn't want it, was salon owners. Right? But what salon owners want today is not what they wanted 6 months ago. Because now we're going into step 2, which is they are in survival mode. They are no longer in scaling mode. They're no longer trying to scale their businesses and grow it. Most of them are just trying to survive. They're trying to reopen. They're trying to deal with stress. So you see how all of a sudden that market in one of my niches has shifted. And if you take a step back and evaluate and simply ask the questions, the easiest way to find out what people need in your broad market and in your niche market is ask them. So you could do Facebook polls, you could do polls in your group. I think one of the most awesome ways to ask people is I record a voice message on Messenger and I just send it to them like, hey, this is Maria Fontana. I'm doing some market research. Would you mind answering a few questions for me to help me serve my clients better, you and my clients better? People kind of react better to that. Like, everyone's so bombarded with stuff, but if you kind of send a little voice message, or you can even send a little tiny pre-recorded video into their Messenger, introduce yourself. I don't say do this to people you don't know. I say do it to people you know, people you have a relationship with, people you've worked with, people on your email list. Just ask them. Another cool tool is polls in Facebook. MailChimp has polls. So you can actually do a form and just send that format right out to your email list asking people that question. I do that all the time. It's a great way to stay abreast of what your clients want. Hey, Penny. So during that, you have to remember, guys, as the business changes, you have to go back to basics. So I want you to go back to what you know works. So let's just say you're a fitness trainer, right? But you had specified and niched down to a particular thing that in the training industry. But now at this time, that's not what people want. Your people are telling you they want something different, which is not what your program is. So you have to step away from what you're doing. If it's not working, if what you're doing, what you were doing 6 months ago is no longer working, you have to pivot that and restructure it. Now, restructuring doesn't mean getting overcomplicated, doesn't mean making all these complicated things. You want to stop overthinking and keep it simple. Okay, what do my clients need today? Let me create something really quick, simple, and easy that I can offer them. And you have to look inside your toolbox. So if you have all these skills, gifts, education, experience, pluck out the one thing that people pick your brain about that they need today. And the simpler you keep it, the easier it's going to be to shift to what your clients need. So maybe right now, people are not looking to do anything extravagant with their bodies. They're just maybe looking to lose that 10 to 15 pounds they gained from quarantine. So using the quarantine, using the pandemic, using that they were home for 3 months, getting them back in gear, that would be a quick way to pivot your business instead of saying, maybe offering them something that you were offering before that they really don't want. And not to say they don't want it later, but right now it's not what they want today. Same thing if you are a coach, same thing if you are a small business owner. You have to really look at where the market is. What are people buying today? Again, anyone who's selling a face mask, they're doing terrific right now, right? So that's pivoting in your industry, and it doesn't take a lot. Okay, number 3 is I want you to keep it simple. and we're not going to reinvent the wheel. So if you are offering a program, I want you to just simplify one thing that your people need and give it to them, offer it to them. You don't need to redo a whole strategy. You don't need to reprogram a whole thing. It's just like, okay, you own a spa. And right now, people, here's an example. People can't get services on their face. Okay, I'm just making something up. So let's just say, well, maybe eyelash extension services are going to be plummeting. So what could people offer? Maybe they can offer some kind of leg treatment or foot treatment or some different type of service that's going to help them boost their sales that has nothing to do with working close to their face. Maybe they can bring in some energy services that they don't have to touch people. So it's a matter of really shifting to what people need. A lot of people are asking more for stress management right now. They're asking to lose weight. They're asking for survival. One of my clients who's a financial planner, I will share this with you. People are not looking to save. They're not looking right now. They don't want her financial advisor services. What do you think they need from her? We pivoted her business. Right now, they need debt reduction. They need survival. They need financial survival tips, how to survive, how to budget. So by her shifting what she does, those clients are going to remember her. And when things go back to normal and they do go back to work, they will go back to using her. Same thing, like people need help navigating their kids' college loans, their financial aid forms. You see, like every single thing affects everything else. So the quarantine, COVID-19 has affected almost every business in some way, shape, or form. So you have to really step back, as my financial advisor client did, as my personal trainer client did, as my executive coach client did. Step back. And what do people need? So one of my clients was an amazing executive coach. He had to pivot his practice because people really needed more support right now to express themselves. They're stressed out. They don't know which way to go in their leadership. They don't know how to really show up with all these new protocols. Some of them don't have protocols. Do you guys follow what I'm saying? So it's really about doing your research, number one, asking. Do a poll, send a video, send a voice message, ask your previous clients. People who know, like, and trust you are going to honestly tell you their opinion. Or in this group, the Global Success Circles and in profits for small business owners, ask everyone in the group. Ask for help, ask for support. And maybe they can suggest other people you can ask support from or do a poll because they are in your ideal audience. Broaden your horizons. Don't be so stuck on that super niche market right now, because you have to take everything you know right now and see what branch you're going to be focusing on for the next 6 to 9 months, because it is an uncertain time. And during uncertain times, you have to be flexible and use all your powers to focus on what people want. Because at the end of the day, guys, no business is going to be successful if you're not giving the public what they want. It's about the client. It's not about you. All right. So 1 is do your research. 2 is remember to stop overthinking it and take action on what you already have. Just keep it simple. If you need help or support with this, you can always just book a call with me. Let's walk you through this. I do have a la carte 1-hour support sessions where we could just walk you through and get things set up. Okay. And number 3 is don't reinvent the wheel. Give the clients what they need, and it doesn't mean you can't go back to what you were doing before, or you may have to just tweak what you were doing before. I hope all these tips helped you and supported you. If there's anything I could do to support you or actually help you create a strategy to implement this in the next 30 days, I want you to simply click the link below, book a consultation with me, and let's see if I can't help you, because I know I can help you. And sometimes just having someone hold your hand and creating a roadmap and a strategy plan makes it so much easier. I want you to remember this before I sign off. You are not alone. We are all in this together, and I'm here to support you unconditionally. I'm sending you all massive love and light. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Love you.